Hi guys, this is Elliott Fullam here. Today I'm here with Kirk Windstein, and let's do this.
You got it, man. Let's roll.
Your upcoming record sounds great. What is your song "Embrace the Light" about?
It's actually not about one particular person. It's just about losing a loved one, someone that's passed away. It could be about my mother or a friend of mine or whoever, that somebody that I really loved and was really close to that passed away, and having a chance to just give them a hug one more time, telling them you love them, type of thing. It's actually not about one particular person. It's generalized about just anyone that you've lost in life that you would, love to have another chance to see them.
That's cool. Your singing sounds amazing. Sometimes you sound like a heavier and angrier version of Gene Simmons. Would you agree?
I like the comparison, being the huge Kiss fan that I am. Yeah, I think so. And thank you for the compliment that it sounds amazing. I've really tried to work on my voice over the years to, like in the beginning, I guess I was kind of trying to find my style, but I've found it recently in the last few records, but thanks. And I agree that I do sound like an angrier Gene.
What do you hope heaven looks like if it really exists?
Just peaceful and, just happiness. No stress. No rent. No car note. No electric bill. None of the stress of life. Life is wonderful. It is, but it can also be very stressful at times. You'll find that out when you grow into a man. But hopefully it's just stress-free and peaceful.
I agree on that one. Where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't play music for a living?
I would hope to be involved in something with sports, like, being a high school football coach or something. The only thing in my life I've ever loved almost as much as music is sports. I played football, power lifted, ran track and all that. And, when I was young. And if my life didn't go in the vein it did with music, I think something sports, I would hope that it would be something sports related and that I wouldn't just be like a Walmart greeter or something. Nothing against that, but that's for later in life. I told my daughter that the other day when she was talking about work, and I said, she was like, because she's in 8th grade, and she's like, Papa, she goes, kind of sucks, but it's something we all have to do. And I'm like, yeah, and as soon as that's over, you got to work for the rest of your life. And I said, hopefully I can play music for the rest of my life, but if I can, I might end up being a Walmart greeter. And nothing against them. A lot of them are friendly.
If you could play any horror movie character, who would you pick?
Probably one of the priests from the original Exorcist. That's my favorite movie. I couldn't be Reagan because I'm a guy, but my favorite. I'm 51 years old, and I'm not lying to you. It would take a lot of beer to make me sit and watch The Exorcist in the dark by myself. I accidentally saw the movie when I was way too young on HBO, like when HBO first came out. We were at my cousin's house, and my mom and dad were playing cards and having drinks and all that, and like my cousin Joe's like, you want to watch The Exorcist? It's on HBO. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I was probably like 11 or something, and I'm like, so my sister was only like 8, so we went in the bedroom, in his parents' bedroom, and watched. Our parents would just drink and they'd pop in. They didn't know we were watching, and we were so scared. I'm not lying. I slept on the floor when I got home because I didn't want the bed to start shaking. But The Exorcist still scares me, so I would want to be one of the priests in The Exorcist. That would be although he's not a horror character, that would be it for me.
I'm super scared of The Exorcist face, Regan.
Oh yeah, oh my God! And speaking of Phil, and he's got the poster in the upstairs bathroom at his house. But I remember his other house in Lakeview. He had like red lights in there. Everything, is all horror stuff with Philip, of course, which is great. That's his personality. But I remember he had recently, and I knew nothing about it, put up this big old giant. It's a gigantic, just close up. I mean, her head's like this, everything with the snot and pus and sores and everything. And we're drinking beer and all that. And I'm like, we were hanging out downstairs, and I went to the bathroom, and I'm sitting there doing my thing, and I look up, and I'm like, oh my God, and pee goes flying everywhere. Literally. I'm like, I come out of the bathroom, I'm like, dude. He's like, what? I'm like, you just scared the living F out of me. He's like, what? I said, they got a freaking 5 foot wide Reagan face right over the toilet. And I looked at it, and it was like, her eyes are this big. I was scared the living hell out of me. So, yeah, she's creepy.
Have you ever encountered a ghost?
I believe I have, and it was at the same house. I'm talking about Phil's house. What happened was, okay, see where I'm sitting now. Imagine a wall like this, but the front door would be right outside here. So we're just listening to music, and I swear I hear straight up, and Phil's like, dude, you want to get the door? And I said, sure. So I go open the door, and there's nobody there. And I'm looking around outside, and there's nobody there. Well, I went back and sat in the chair, and when I did, I happened to glance over my right shoulder. There was a doorway right there, an opening, and I saw somebody walk down the hall real quick. And it's weird because back then we would always crash out at Phil's house. Like, it's almost like he didn't want to even be there alone or something. It was crazy. But yeah, we kind of thought that house was it was an older house. We kind of thought it was a little haunted, maybe. Yeah, there's been a few other things too there. So,
if I ever saw that, I'd probably just leave and go home.
I might have wanted to leave and go home, but I didn't want them to make fun of me. But so I just drank more beer and I was fine.
I'd say, I'm sorry, man. Your house is haunted. I'm never coming here ever again.
Yeah, but if I'm not afraid of no ghost. But, I'm not. I mean, it's scary to think about it if it's real, but I don't think, if they're real, I don't think they can really hurt you, at least to me,
What are your favorite hair metal bands from the 80s?
I love the first Motley Crue record, and Shout at the Devil I liked a lot. I always thought, I liked, let's see, it's hard, a lot of bands maybe looked hair metal but didn't sound it, but as far as I always liked Skid Row. I always thought they were a great band. Early Motley Crue. Was never much of a Poison fan. I liked the first Rat record, the first one or two, and I was able to see most of these bands in concert, which was cool. But I quickly went from the hair metal into the heavy stuff. Like, as soon as the Metallicas and everything started coming out, it was like, screw this, puffy hairdo and hairspray and makeup. It's like, this is heavy. So I quickly got out of that. Although it's now considered classic rock, and I listen to classic rock radio station a lot of times at home. So if an old Motley Crue or Skid Row or somebody pops up on the radio, I turn it up a bit. It's still good stuff.
Okay, so now here's the comparison questions.
Okay.
New Orleans or England?
New Orleans.
Singing or playing guitar?
Playing guitar.
Politicians or aliens?
I'll take aliens. The way things are looking.
Okay, so I'm going to name a band.
Okay.
And you're going to say what your favorite album is.
Okay.
Metallica.
Master of Puppets.
Thin Lizzy.
Live and Dangerous.
Type O Negative.
Slow, Deep and Hard.
Kiss.
Alive One.
Led Zeppelin.
Believe it or not, Presence.
Melvins.
I'll just throw out Ozma.
Pantera.
Ooh. I gotta say, and I know Phil will disagree, I'm gonna say Vulgar Display of Power.
Yeah. Down,
Nola.
Crowbar.
The new one. Actually, if I had to just pick one Crowbar record, like if we only ever did one record, although I love them all, I would probably say Oddfellows Rest. Overall,
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Just want to thank you for a great interview, and it was a blast. And thank all the Crowbar fans for all their support over the years. New record comes out October 28th, The Serpent Only Lies. And thank y'all for all these years.
Thank you.
You got it. I appreciate that.